Well, good morning, everyone. It's Today is Wednesday, and this is going to be day 8 on our purpose-driven life. And this morning, I had to find how to do this Facebook because they changed something, and so I had to scroll down a lot further to find out where to start the live video. But hey, here we are, and this is the first day one of 7 days in a row. For the next 7 days, we're going to talk about worship, worshiping God. um, what does it mean? What are the parameters? How do we go about it? And so I hope that you're going to be a better and more delighted worshiper of God as a result of what we're going to talk about for the next 7 days. Well, today, this particular title, day 8, is called Planned for God's Pleasure. And even that title just kind of tells you a little bit why God designed us. He designed us for His own pleasure, and how that just gives us our meaning. One of our primary meanings in life is that we would regularly, constantly worship God. And I don't want you to always think about, when you think about worshiping, thinking of in a very narrow way. There's a very narrow way to think of worship, and that is Sunday morning when you go to church, which is a huge part of worship, which we will talk about, but it is not the whole of worship. We were made to honor God, worship God all day long. So let's talk about some of these things. First of all, you were hardwired for worship. That means you were designed in such a way to worship God. And then Martin Luther said, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you can worship God. He said, a dairymaid um, can milk cows to the glory of God. And this was like a revolutionary thought to some of them. But many of us, it's like, yeah, of course, we can run and do all these things to worship God. I remember the movie Chariots of Fire when Eric Liddell said, God made me fast. And when I run fast, I feel His pleasure. And God made you to do something. And when you do that in a way that pleases God and give Him the glory, then it's great for you because you're doing something you were designed to do. And then it's also honoring to God because He made you for that. Everyone is a worshiper. Everyone worships God. Whether they, Everyone is a worshiper. Not everyone worships God. And that's the problem. Like, everyone's going to worship something or someone. Everyone has something in their heart that rises to the top spot, and that's what or who you worship. But we were designed only to give God that top spot. So there's a couple of things, three things that this chapter brings out, and that is that worship is bringing pleasure to God. If it pleases God, then He's pleased. And it's like, yes, I made you to do that. You were made for that. I'm so glad you're doing this or doing that. And one of those things is corporate worship. Something else is private worship. And then worshiping as we go about doing everything, like a bird chirps to the glory of God, and a lion roars to the glory of God, and a river runs, and a waterfall pours water out to the glory of God. And we were made to be able to do that same thing. Um, Worship is something we should do constantly, all the time, every day, giving God thanks and praise and pausing and saying, oh Lord, what a beautiful sunrise. Oh Lord, thank you that you got me here safely. Oh Lord, thank you for this day. Praise you for the opportunity you've given me. Thank you for my job. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my kids. And this spirit of gratitude and worship to God. And then God is the center and focus of worship. Um, Meaning, like, even like when we're gathered at church, the center is not the worship leader or worship team. It should be God. Well, let me finish by reading several wonderful verses about worship. Revelation 4:11. Worthy are you, our Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power. For you created all things, and by your will they existed and were created. In Psalm 149:4, the Lord takes pleasure in His people, so it pleases God. We please God, especially when we're delighting in God. Isaiah 29:13, these people draw near with their mouth and with their lips. while their hearts are far from you. So your heart, he wants your heart to be a worshiper if you're going to be a good, true worshiper. And Psalm 113:3, from the rising of the sun, which you see directly behind, to its setting, the name of the Lord is to be praised. So all day long we have the opportunity to worship and give God praise. And then lastly, Psalm 34:1, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. So learn, worshiper. I need to do a better job at this. You can do better at this, at giving God honor and just making him part of our life and breath and conversation, that we so freely talk about the Lord. That all would give him praise. So we were designed for this. We were planned for God's pleasure. I hope you have a great Wednesday, and may the Lord bless you, keep you, and cause his face to shine upon you and give you peace. God bless you.